1 o'clock, calling it to order. Does anybody, I need to start with Jean. Jean? Jean, can you hear me?
He's muted right now.
He's on the phone.
Oh, he is.
I can't hear.
You can?
Okay, I have to have I listen on the phone then. Okay,
Okay. So
I got it.
you want to request,
You have to request the remote
Okay,
participation.
okay. I had something come up, medical with, since this was posted within the last 24 hours. And so I need to be able to participate in the meeting remotely.
okay. And does anybody have any objection or anything to that? We're all good with that? Okay, Jean.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And so we have called to order, and I just was requesting if there was any changes as to the agenda as it's been distributed. And I don't
No,
have any.
nothing here.
Okay, all right, thank you. And approval of the minutes, if there's no corrections. Do the minutes of October 29th, the meeting are approved as distributed. Did you have any questions there, Jim, or changes?
Looks good to me.
All right, thank you. And I don't see anybody here from the public. You guys can sit up here with us if you want. Or not. Yeah. Well, anybody see the back of my hair? So,
Curious.
yeah, me too. A little thin. I don't see anybody here from the public. So we're going to mark that off because there is nobody here. We're going to go now to the letter E, the financial statements. That's pages 6 through 16.
You want to go over everything, or usually Gene says we looked at it and
But I'm fine with what I read. So just go over well, she's run the meeting, but however she says do it,
all right,
or highlights or whatever.
okay. I mean, basically, most of our volumes are over budget for December, and they're continuing in January, which is a good thing. The only thing that's not is the clinic. We're down about a couple hundred visits in the clinic, unfortunately, but that's due to the fact that we are minus a provider. So we are still looking at, Miranda texted me today about they may have somebody else they can hire, but we don't know for sure. We're looking. Everything else is pretty good as far as our cash position improved because of the IGT money that we got. It went down last month because we had to pay 5.8 million. We got 8 million back, so that's what I got. So we're in a good cash position right now. Our AR is up a little bit because of the wound care stuff. We have about $500,000 in charges that are not, or more than that. We got about $1 million in charges that aren't paid yet. That's why our AR is up. We should be getting paid. We get paid on that today yet, Amy?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're waiting. It should be any day we're getting paid. We'll know kind of an indication of how our wound care is going.
But it's positive for those that are being treated, for the community.
We've already had 2 people healed.
That's good.
We're really good.
I know we'd like to be all about money, but
Well,
since we're really meeting those needs and hopefully it comes to where
we are still here to serve the community.
Right.
As long as we can break even, we're happy.
right.
As far as that program goes, and we will break even. As long as we continue to only do Medicare, we will break even at least. I need to put some more expenses in there, which we're going to do. We are allocating depreciation and things in there. We'll figure out a way to get a little bit more expenses in there.
And so those that have like an advantage, they're not covering, or they're just not.
They won't pay.
paid.
We will lose money, lose a lot of money on that. And of course, even though we got a better deal on the supplies now, about half price, they still are not going to pay that though. Medicare, other places we get paid costs is on the Medicare patients and SNF. Everything else is no longer cost based. I mean, critical access hospitals are always cost based.
Right.
Even Medi-Cal got us cost. Now, if Medi-Cal with all the IGTs and all that, we get a little bit more than cost. Unfortunately, the other ones we don't get cost. And that's why they have to kind of subsidize everything else.
And well, we haven't been doing this a long time at this point, but, are any of those could be used as like the charitable case if they're like really bad or anything like that? I'm just kind of curious out of,
We can always do that, but people
I
don't.
mean, I won't
apply.
be announcing it.
No, but we don't, you know, it's a process to go through to get,
I know.
and people don't want to go through the process. I mean, Sherry knows, she's done a lot of work on the financial assistance problem and all that, and how many people do we have apply for it per month?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Right.
Really.
They don't want to give you the financial information.
But if we offer and they say no, then we're clear. I just, you never know about,
There's always an open offer, but it's always offers open for them to come and apply for it. But they don't want to go through information. And the thing is, what they're asking, they're not letting us ask for a lot of information anymore either.
Yeah.
You used to be able to ask for tax return,
Wow.
WPs, all this, but you're not allowed to ask for that stuff now.
Bank statements, that's where we would
Right.
catch a lot of people with their deposits coming into their accounts. When they say, oh, I only make this amount of money, but their bank statement shows something different.
you learn that really quick working at human services. Okay, so,
And that's why our AR is up a little bit, our AR days are up a little bit, and our revenues are up a lot, really, but our AR days are up because of wound care. As soon as we start getting paid on that, it'll knock it down pretty quickly.
okay. Anything else there? Or do you want to just do the narrative?
John,
Oh, wait,
John, can
John,
you hear me?
I can hear you, Gene.
With the clinic, although we're short on doctors, Dr. Mongard does a lot of telephone stuff. Can she do more of that and generate more income? I mean, is there a way to utilize her more?
Well, I was talking to her about possibly working a 4th day, and we're talking about that right now. She wants a lot of money to work that extra day, though. That's the only problem. I don't think it's.
Well, you go to LA a lot, bring some back from there and we can give it to her.
Good. Yeah, we can get some doctors up here. Like I said, Miranda and Greg are working on it very hard, and they're gonna find somebody. We thought we had that one guy, but things happen.
It
Wasn't
would
meant.
be good if we could get her that extra day, but okay, thank you very much.
We're looking at it, and we're also looking at possibly bringing an ER doctor over to the clinic, but he's kind of fighting it right now. He didn't really want to do it. Unfortunately, I think he'd be good in there too. Dr. Carson, but he doesn't want to do it, I think. We've talked to him a couple of times and he doesn't want to do it.
not even sweeten it up, huh?
Well, I need to talk. He's there, I think, today. I need to go talk to him in person. I'm just going by hearsay right now. I need to talk to him in person.
He's
In
not here
Kern Valley, hearsay?
He's not here today.
I'm joking.
But
I just said hearsay in Kern Valley.
yeah, nobody knows anything. Nobody gossips here.
Mm-mm. So the summary, is there anything on there that you want to,
Narrative. I mean, our labor expenses are up. I think that I didn't account properly for the increase in salaries of the budget, but everything else, I mean, if you look at our income statement, the only place we're really over is we're over in the contract labor, and we're working on that, trying to replace some of the people who have gone. And then our supplies are up a lot. 2 reasons. One is retail pharmacy, because we're over on the prescription. So of course, we are starting to see a little bit more of the 340B, which is it's not up as high as it should be. So that's a little better. But the wound care, I mean, we got how much you think we have in wound care? 500,000 in expenses?
380.
380.
well, it's like a startup,
Right. So everything's
Oh.
all and money going out. We got to bring some money in now. And hopefully that's going to be this week. We should be getting paid this week on the first set of claims, and then they'll start coming in because we've billed them all out now.
Okay, that'd be good.
Hey, John,
Yes.
you mentioned increase in salaries. You haven't done the increase yet, right, for this year?
No, we've done the increase. We've increased the nurses, and we increased a little bit. That was what month was that? That was May, I think, or something. Or April.
Doesn't that need to go to board for approval when you, or you?
We have the schedules ready. We just worked on it yesterday. We have all that ready. I have some of the things that you requested. I came down to your office to try to talk to you about some of your other requests, but you weren't there. I need to talk to you about that. But I've got all the C-suite salaries for the last 4 years. like you requested.
Yeah.
I think your next
Yeah.
request was all the managers. I need to talk to you about what exactly you want with that. It's a lot of work.
Okay.
It's a lot of work to put that together because we have two different payroll systems that we'll be working from. We
Well,
switched over.
for the last 4 years, the board has been deprived of knowing what Tim has been doing. And so we want to look back and see. There might need to be some rebalancing.
I think
So
everything that
as
was done,
treasurer, I want those figures.
I understand, but everything that was done was fair. Everything above was up above board and there was nothing done behind the scenes.
Yeah, okay.
So you've run those
So the
numbers?
board's able to see them.
What?
The ones that he's asking for, you've
I
run
think it's
before?
for the C-suite that he asked for initially.
Okay.
Now he asked for them, everybody, but that's a whole lot of work.
And it's important to note too, like right now, how we're analyzing all of this this payroll data is we're using the Hospital Association of Southern California, like their database with their hospitals, like averaging the rates for the people in like positions and making adjustments based upon that. And the amount of adjustment that we're making is like 1.5%, something like that. And so even considering manager, C-suite, all employees, like that's the amount of adjustment. So if there's questions about like everything's done above board, like all that stuff, like, I mean, it clearly is following that pattern that everything's done on the up and up and we're keeping on trend with, you know, how salaries are going.
And we will get you that information. I just want to see what format you want it and how
Okay,
details you
all
want.
right. Okay, I've been, sorry I missed you there. I was getting some treatment and stuff and I saw.
No, that's all right. We can still talk
I got
about
back, I'm sort of
it.
stuck the way I am, but
Yeah.
I can hook up with you sometime.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
Okay, what else?
Just a quick question since we're talking.
Yes.
It's just, so the parity, I've had a couple of employees come to me wanting to know if they were getting a parity increase.
That's
And I
it.
said, it hasn't been discussed. I'm not sure what we're doing in regards to that.
That's what this is, making sure that everybody's in the
Okay.
proper range.
Okay,
And that'll be probably going out. We need to get it approved at the next board meeting, but we have the schedules ready by position,
okay.
by people, and we will, once you guys really implement it,
And that's going to the next board meeting?
yes.
You hear that, Jean? You good with that? You'll be
Yes,
happy?
Yeah, no, yeah, so we won't be backed up to go all against the wall when we have to approve it then. If we don't want to approve it, do you have ways of, don't push it on us and say, here, you have to do it.
Is it something that's
Like-
gonna need action on that day?
For Scott, yes.
Yeah, I mean, better to push it, yeah, better to approve it that day or not approve it, so we know, and then we'll come back with something else. But the farther we kick it down the road, the more people are gonna start getting mad and asking questions about it.
Can the board get a copy of that or have a special meeting before that or something, or Zoom, something so, because I know there's a lot of pressure, you
Right.
know,
When's the
when
next
we're
board
just
meeting?
now.
The next board
2
meeting, I think
weeks.
is on the 12th.
We have, I mean, I don't know if you guys want to have a special board meeting, I suppose we could.
Well, even, I don't know, something like that can just be done Zoom, or we could meet with you or whatever. I guess it has to be called a special meeting for us all
Let's
to
ask
be
Scott.
together.
Let me ask Scott and Kyle, you and I will ask Scott and figure out what we want to do. If you want to do, if you want to speed it up 2 weeks, but I mean, 2 weeks, we can always go back to February 1st anyway. Even if you approve it later, we can still go back to February 1st.
Yeah, I know with Jean not feeling well and sometimes it's a lot of pressure to sit here and say, okay, let's do it. And then have to ask Scott and then we're going to sign it with these changes or whatever. To me, that's just,
I think
I don't
the
really
way we're
think it-
presenting it to you, you guys are gonna think it's okay.
you think so?
I
Yeah,
think so.
I can be kind of difficult.
Tell me.
I think when you understand, like I said now a couple times, it's like when you understand where the source of the data
Right.
came from and all of the analytics that went into where we got these numbers,
Right.
and we're still being quite conservative on how we're applying those. I don't know if there's a better, more fair way to do it than the way we did it because of how much data we gathered from other.
Right, no, I'm
customers.
not questioning that. I'm just questioning, we get it one day or maybe a day or two ahead of
It's a lot to
time.
digest. in
And
a
then you're
moment.
like,
I agree.
I went home yesterday after all day with you guys. I was like,
Just imagine how we feel.
I know,
But we could get it to you earlier and they can,
if you could just do
Yeah.
that, because then it gives us a little
We're
more
pretty close
time.
right now.
And I don't want you guys to feel like we're questioning you. It's just sometimes you know exactly what steps you're taking and we're just getting the end of it. We don't know, what you're comparing to or anything. And if you tell us we've already, OD'd on the meeting before or something,
Yeah.
so,
Once you see our methodology, I think it'll be explained pretty easily.
yeah,
Because this is a very objective way to do things. We are looking at data from HASC, which is the Hospital Association of Southern California. And that's what most people use to kind of figure out the
well,
rate.
and I'm mainly speaking, well, I could probably speak for Jean, but I haven't sat on this committee in over a year. So even though I get the minutes and know what's going on, I don't really understand the underlying current that's getting us to this point.
We have
If
not
that
used
makes
HASC
sense.
before. This is the first time we've used HASC.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
how I've always done it when I was in Catalina. That's how we always did it. So that's why I want to do it here.
You sound like an old, so that's how we've always done it.
I'm not young.
I'm not either.
A lot of those
Question?
places you're using for comps like San Francisco and LA don't even remotely compare to us.
We're not
The
using.
expenses are about half here.
We're looking
So,
at
I
Southern
mean-
California data, so yes, LA might be considered in that, but what we're trying to do, because it breaks it
Size
up.
wise.
It breaks it up by size and all different types of things. So we're trying to use
Okay,
hospitals that are
but just-
similar to us. But
Yeah,
if
the
it's
board-
not, then we
but-
average a lot of them together to
Right.
figure out the most fair way to do it.
We're looking at under 100 beds,
Okay,
under 400, or under 100 million in total expenses. And that's kind of brings things even on even playing field. I think.
Different statistics for
Right.
that.
And we're
but
averaging.
the board's elected to make sure that everything's reasonable, so we need to see it.
I got you, Gene. No problem.
Can we have that in writing?
Thank you.
I'm just
It's
kidding.
recorded.
Just
We
kidding.
do have another meeting in here. at
Oh, yeah,
2:00, so-
I told her I wouldn't talk much.
So I have to draw your attention to an error on the page 8 and on page 18. The total ER visits are 614 for the month. And the ER visits daily is 30. And I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Our visits. Well, that adds up to 614. What did you say it was?
614 divided by 31 is 19.8. Is
That's
that line 29? Is that the average daily?
29.
Fine.
No, that's it. ER visits admitted.
Okay, all right.
614 is accurate. I mean, this is the same place
Okay,
we've
I
had
stand
it
corrected.
for the
then.
last 10
Thank you.
years.
Thank
Okay,
you, Mark.
All right, Catherine, any other, or Gene, any other questions on any of
No,
this?
no,
No. You're good with do you want to hear the local vendor aging or anything? Or are you good with that, Jean?
everything looks fine to me.
Okay, perfect. And we'll move on to old business, which there is none. We have G, the new business is contract reviews. Jean, did you have any questions on that? The con-
No, the capital expenditure, is that what you're talking about to start with? Our contract?
The contract.
No,
The contracts,
yeah, the contracts, no, they look fine.
okay.
I would just like to, she has a patient at 1:45.
Okay.
We could probably do her.
What, you want to say something?
If that's okay.
Oh, yeah. of course.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine's about the equipment.
The equipment we talked about already?
Yeah,
I thought it, yeah, that's,
I didn't know if I needed to explain anything with it, or request for it.
That's on page 39.
39.
Can we do this since the agenda was approved?
It's fine, as long as you guys fast about it. As long as
Fast.
you make a decision.
We can't make a decision, is that way? Oh, we
Well,
can.
We just have to take action, but it's
Right.
fine.
This is replacing, or you want to, you can tell.
Go ahead.
There's one piece of equipment that I want to replace with two. There's a picture in here.
It's going to be at the very back.
Yeah, so there's one, this is the piece of equipment.
What page number is it on?
42.
42.
No, my
No,
58, 59.
58 and 59 was the piece of equipment.
Okay.
And so I want to replace it with two, have an individual leg press and then a functional exercise machine. It'll have all the same things, but a whole lot more. And then the picture
And it's a question of patient safety also, right?
Yeah, the leg press machine and clinician safety, the leg press machine, I have a video if you guys want me to email it too, so you can see how it's used or how it's hard to
We're
use.
fine with what you're giving us.
Okay. Yeah, there's this foot plate that we actually have to draw back and like to help patients actually fit in, especially if they have like a harder leg to lift.
Right.
And so we have to physically pull it back. And then the actual weights, it just says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to like 20, but we actually don't know exactly how much weight it is either. And that's on all the stations, there's 4 stations. So I had an individual leg press machine that the seat just goes up so the patient can actually stay in it and can be moved up or down.
Right.
So the clinician's not pulling the weight, because however heavy we want them to pull, we have to pull that plate back. So if it's actually heavier, we're lugging it back ourselves.
Yeah, that's not safe.
Yeah, so the what I want to get, it helps with that issue. And then this page or picture on page 58, you can kind of see the outline of the other equipment. So it takes up the same space.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't hurt our space at all. And the one sorry. So I think it has all of them in here. So on 51, that is the equipment that I want for the leg press machine. And then the seat just moves up and down, so it takes away all the safety issues and it fits perfectly. And it's actually the cheapest one of them all, and the reviews look great, and it's from a equipment.
The proposals that you got, did you check with Christine to see if she could get like premier pricing on any of them, or were they just like
No,
online searching?
I talked to the vendors, but no, I didn't ask Christine specifically.
Okay,
But, so, yeah, that'd be great. The one we can actually pick up and save $700 on shipping. The other one is free shipping,
Pick up for it.
Ontario. So just if you want to save the $700. And then the other one that I like for the other half is on page 42. And this machine gives us potential to do exactly the same stuff and add a lot more options, and there's like nice safety features on this. When you do like a leg press with the bar, chest press with the bar, it's attached to the machine. So a clinician doesn't ever have to help lift it. You just do a half turn backwards with your wrist and it inserts back in. So it's a nice safety feature.
It looks like the other machine you have, the one that gets the wall, is it?
Oh, yeah, there's some similarities,
Yeah.
kind of. The other machine actually like keeps the patient from falling.
Right.
It's harnessed. And there are some like pull downs, so when they're standing, they can do stuff. So yeah, but that's for like complete offloading, so they're not gonna fall. Like a lot of or paraplegics and stuff, we use it for that. So it looks similar, but it's not.
Wish we had more room in that, more space in that room. How we make
No.
it bigger, but that would be great if
Be
we
a
could,
dream.
put that patio or something, but there's no way we could do that.
Or that other little area.
Which one? Oh, on the other side, yeah.
They had like, there's like that grassy area.
Grassy
outside.
area.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to do like a little balance course out there, but that was an idea for another day. But
It's probably a good one.
yeah, thank you. But yeah, these are the two. It fits fine as clearance from the ceiling. And I talked to the vendors, every single question I could possibly think of just to make sure they're the right ones. So, but yes. Any questions about them?
Catherine,
Yes, Jean.
Catherine, the one that she recommends should be the one that we do because she's working with it. And that's what I would say, to send it to consent for, I thought we approved this at one.
We did, but he was here, so I think we did over before, right?
not this one.
Not this one?
No.
You approved that offloading one with the.
Oh, the offloading.
Yeah. a harness.
Okay, so you want to send this one to consent? Is that what you said?
Well, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it be, John?
That's where it would need to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
The last machine worked for 20 some years, so this has longevity behind it.
Okay.
So I feel like this will be it'll take our needs now, and then whatever therapy develops into the future, or like another generation of people coming through, it could fit all
All
needs, yeah, and upcoming needs.
Okay, well, Jean's given us the okay to send that to consent, so, but thank you for taking your time and coming in and explaining it.
I'm excited. Thank you.
That-
Oh, they're gonna take another bow.
For next time.
Let's take that to consent.
Yeah.
The board.
Hey, John,
Yes, sir.
do you think we could ask her to save some of the energy that people wear off when they're using that stuff? And
I
give
would.
it to me?
Yeah.
What would you do with it, G?
Put in something.
I need it.
Okay. Any other questions on that, Gene?
No, she seemed to know exactly what's best.
She did her homework. She was researching it for a while. We've been talking about this for a couple of months, actually.
Yep, did her homework. Look good.
No, he said we were good with the context.
Okay.
Any other questions on any of the capital expenditures?
No, I got one more question for John before we hang up. I think
Okay.
is the last thing is that Carrie's, or where are we at?
We still got quite a bit more to discuss before that,
What's that?
So
that cost analysis.
Oh,
two other capital expenditure.
Oh,
Yeah, we have the number
Yeah.
two, which is, excuse me, the ultrasound table,
You choose.
the ultrasound. Oh, yes.
page 22 to 32.
That's something we have to have, right, John?
Yes. Yes.
Then it should go to consent too, right, Catherine? I mean,
Yes,
it looks like the homework's been done.
I believe Stuart did his homework and looked at a bunch of different ones, and I think this is the one he came up with.
came up with,
Yeah,
3 options. That's cheapest.
yeah.
yeah.
And this is kind of first thing that's gonna be in radiology. We got the big one coming up in a while too.
Okay.
Want to take that to consent?
You will take that one to consent. And number 3 is the capital expenditure request, the bladder scanner. And for radiology.
That, the foundation has agreed to pay for that. Or not, doesn't match it's still our money, but that's just, it's added information.
It's perfect.
Well, the foundation's not our money.
It's our foundation.
It
Sure it is. It's all our money, Carrie.
All under the same union.
That's right.
But the one that she's requesting isn't the cheapest one. It's this one just above that. So if you look at the second page of the request, up just a little bit.
The initial request was 15,000. That's what the foundation agreed to pay, but now it's down to 12,000.
So it should be on page.
27?
I don't know, it's gonna be 30.
4.
You look at this,
It's 34.
34, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that is- that-
This is the one you,
So the ones
Okay,
that
they
she's
want-
requesting,
okay.
when I asked her what the difference was, she said the only difference was the Veritron one, or Verathon one came with a stand. That was handy.
Okay.
Chris Todd.
A stand for like
That
helping people
completed
up
it.
and
She said
down
that it
or
was
I think for
the
the,
stand for the unit.
for the unit, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I think we should send that to consent also. I mean, even though we have to get the 3 different bids, there's not anything that says we have to always take the
Cheapest one,
lowest one,
just like what we did with.
right?
It
Sounds good to me.
might not be apples and apples.
Within reason.
So with the lowest reasonable bid, but if there's a feature that one has that another doesn't, that could be a deciding.
Quality too, it's got to.
Otherwise, like
Consent,
$100 more for the stand.
well, it's probably for safety reasons, so that would be a reason,
I know, always know where it's at. If it's not on the stand, where the heck is it?
right?
It'll always be there.
And we already did
Yes.
number 4, so number 5 is the advanced practice provider supervisory agreement.
That's Dr. Lopez.
Mhm.
Yes.
And Greg's on there if you have questions about that.
Do you have a spiel, Greg?
No, not really. This is a agreement that we've had for quite a while. We're looking at continuing that until we find a family practitioner. We're in a difficult position because we can't assign pediatric patients to our clinic because Dr. Mongar is internal medicine specialist. So we actually still have quite a few lives that are assigned to Dr. Lopez. So it's important to keep a relationship with her because we essentially are still billing under her license. So she's enthusiastic about continuing the agreement. It's a very low cost agreement. So I'd recommend that we proceed with it.
All the bills brought into her name.
It was a continuation of
We-
an existing
before.
agreement that had expired, and so it's just
Same price.
Yeah,
$7 a month, I think.
same rates.
We should send that to consent too, Catherine, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we will, Jean. I think so.
So it's consent.
Thank you.
Okay. The employee pension contribution. John, you're up.
That's something we worked out with, what's the name of the company?
Corporate, But-
Yeah, Corbridge, and that's been an ongoing process.
this just gets presented every 6 months. This is just employer matching. So we'd be paying 14,351 per pay period for the next 6 months,
Is that maintaining the 4% that we,
maintaining 4%.
That's really the issue. We want to maintain the 4%.
Okay. Jean, you good with that? Going to consent?
It's a reasonable thing right now. You know, later maybe we might have problems, but right now it's still reasonable.
Okay,
I think, my feeling.
listen that. And the last one's, the Thrive provider for, EHR cost analysis. Barry.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so as we've discussed in a handful of meetings now, we are looking to switch EHRs in the clinic. The reason for that switch is primarily to have everybody be on the same system. ER is still on a different system, but we're trying to move in that direction where everybody will be on the same system because it's just a cohesive system. Things talk. Duplicate workflows are eliminated. Stuff for billing and medical records and all that is reduced workload. Our vendor currently, EMDs, has incredibly poor support. So there's other reasons on that side that we would want to switch to. And so what this is here is a breakdown of our options. So in the first column here, this is our existing cost broken down by what we're currently paying. So we have TrueBridge EHR, EMDs, and all of these things that go along with it. So TrueBridge is what we're already paying for the EHR throughout the hospital. And then the below costs are things that are associated directly and then indirectly with that. So we have $1,800 for the actual software licensing for EMDs. We have interfaces that we would be that are associated with that we would be eliminating. We have UpDocs, which is how faxes go out from EMDs to patients. We have this thing called Patient Reminder, which I estimated at $150. I believe that's going to end up being more. I couldn't find any invoices on it except for a credit card statement that was billing at $750. So I'm trying to figure that. So 150 there is, I'm making a strong assumption is the lowest. Yeah. Even if it-
50 is a monthly charge.
That's what it looked like. It's, even if it was quarterly, we're still under,
Probably more than that, right?
Yeah. And then what this average interface costs is that we spend money on interfaces throughout the facility. If a new piece of lab equipment comes in, if we get a new service or anything that we need to have those results come to our EHR automatically, then that costs us money. A lot of times those are $10,000 to $15,000 a piece to get set up. And so what this is over the last 3 years, I averaged the cost that we spent on interfaces, and that's $1,880. That gives us a total of what we're spending right now, $20,000 for just, this is what we have right now, no changes. Then we have two options to purchase or acquire TrueBridge EHR to replace EMDs. In option one is if we actually pay outright for that. So we're paying a $115,000 implementation fee. And then these other things here are what would be eliminated because of that. So we would be eliminating the cost of EMDs. We'd be eliminating the cost of the UpDocs faxing solution because that's built into TrueBridge EHR. And then this patient reminder service is also built into TrueBridge EHR. These other things are going to have to stay in place because they're not covered under that. So that's option one. Option two, but that would still result in a net savings of about $4,000 per month because we're eliminating those services.
Okay,
Option two, which is clearly the winner here, is it's their software as a service bundle. And so what that would give us would be the cost for the EHR in-house, as well as the clinic, as well as eliminate these other services because it includes 3 interfaces per year at no additional charge. So those first 3 interfaces, what we would likely do is eliminate Shasta. So Shasta here is a third-party interface engine that we only have. It was an idea many, many years ago to reduce costs for interfaces, and it just never really panned out. However, it's been up and running. It's a lot of work and money to eliminate that because, like I said, each one of these interfaces is $10,000 to $15,000 a piece, long implementation fee or long implementation time. And so we would use those 3 to eliminate Shasta. Also, we can obviously eliminate UpDocs. Patient reminder, we'd eliminate, and then I've also eliminated the average interface cost because it's rare that we do more than 3 interfaces per year. And so we could assume that $1,800 would be saved per year. So that brings our total monthly cost for switching to TrueBridge EHR to $13,948, which is about a $7,000 per month savings between those 2 products. So we're actually going to save $7,000
and no implementation fee.
implementation fee. So I don't know if this is.
That sounds great. That
Does sound good, yeah.
This isn't.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is,
So what our next steps are is we're going to bring a sole source or single source
Sole source resolution.
sole source resolution to the main board meeting next month, giving the reasons why we're not getting other bids from other EHRs, which is quite simply like, we're doing this so that we're all on one platform. So switching to another platform, it's a waste of time. But that will get presented, but here's just information on what it won't cost us really to make this change.
okay.
And like I said, I expect that patient reminder, it looks like it's coming in at higher. I'm trying to hunt down the invoices, but we have a credit card statement that says it's $750. And she said monthly, but even if it's quarterly, then we're still under that. So that could be actually more.
Do we need to agree to send it to consent agenda now, although you're gonna
No,
make some
Nope.
clarifications?
This is just informational today.
Just information.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
important to note though, too, that what this doesn't include and what I can't figure out how to constitute would be, we will for sure, at least initially, be lower on volume because of this switch. This is a whole new platform that all of those people have to learn how to use and all that. Providers, especially their documentation in this system. I think I'm optimistic that we will get back on pace to what we're currently doing because of the tools that are in there, but it's a total learning curve. And so I can't see a situation or I can't see us not losing some sort of volume initially on this. And I don't know how to constitute that in this analysis because I don't know what it's going to do.
And it might not be volume, this might be how quickly we get the bills out and things like that.
Yeah, different things.
That's gonna slow, that
And that's
process will
training.
slow down.
Yeah, but
Right.
when Greg and Miranda and I went to that other facility, they were seeing similar volumes to us when they're seeing more volumes. But if you broke it up by provider, it's similar to what we're doing now. And if they can do it, I feel like we can do it too.
and is
One
there,
difference between them and us was that when we went to Wickenburg, they were paying $20,000 a month for a scribe service. So they did all of the charting for the providers. So this is a very intensive program for the providers. It's not what EMDs is. Miranda and I are still in support of this and moving to this, but it's going to affect a lot of staff and especially the providers. So we're already working. We already have a work group set up where we're preparing for this. I'm doing lots of training already. We're kind of troubleshooting, problem solving as we go, and we'll get there. We're still in support of it, but yeah, it's going to decrease provider volume for a significant amount of time because it's going to take a lot longer to write a note in the newer system, especially for maybe the first 3 to 4 months until we really figure things out. There's a potential, like Carrie brought up at previous meetings, about some AI scribes that may work. They may help us, they may not, but yeah, there's a lot to it.
Yeah, those tools we're gonna definitely try out with the AI. It's Microsoft's Dragon Copilot, so it's top tier product that can be embedded into TrueBridge. That's available now, and then there's some other things coming to that product that will actually be able to, like, you know, if Greg needs to prescribe medications or write orders or something like that, it will recognize that he's saying that and actually write that order for him. He'll just have to sign it.
And so do you guys have a plan about how the training's gonna go? If there's gonna be costs to that
There
or?
shouldn't be cost to the training, to the best of my knowledge in this moment.
Okay,
Um,
so you guys. are
there
like
might be
doing the
some
training?
airfare we have to pay for somebody to
Okay.
come out, pretty minimal
Okay.
cost for that. But there be on-site training. Right now, if we continue to move on the path that we're doing, we're looking for implementation in like August or September, just based upon TrueBridge's schedule, which is good because our contract for EMDs, we just renewed in December. And so that gives us a little bit of cushion there between when the contract for EMDs expires again and when we would be going live
Yeah,
with this.
this one. Okay. Well, that was my question just about for the education and stuff, because I know new programs are always a
Yeah, I mean, it's
lovely thing.
obviously a concern of all of ours too. I mean, we need to make sure that we're on top of learning the system. You know, we're obviously not the first customer that they've implemented for,
Right.
and all of this is included in the like onboarding package, there's all the training.
Okay,
And there's lots of like Greg mentioned, there's lots of tools online that he's even getting ahead of now, which is totally gonna get us ahead of the game, before we even buy the thing.
do we want to send this to board for the information
So the information would go with the sole source resolution, but it's
Okay.
going to be listed as a new business.
in the
item.
business?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, the financial or the cost analysis, I don't think is in the sole source, but the overall savings is.
okay,
But we could include it just
Yeah, we
as an
can,
informational item.
all right. Any other questions, Jean?
The only other thing is, John, I had asked you to make sure the board needs to see the health insurance prior to you initiating our approval. So I think April 1st is drop dead. We need to see it by March.
Okay, what do you want?
Have they proposed it yet? Have they been by yet?
Sandra,
I'm sorry,
he's talking about the health insurance.
no, they have
Yeah.
not. We still have to make an appointment. They canceled on us and they have not rescheduled another appointment. So we
Okay.
discussed.
Okay, so
Gene, I also asked him about the Medicare, like you said, that is not part of the
Yeah.
program. It's
It's
got to be
what?
separately.
It's not part of the program, Medicare.
why is it not part of the program?
We'll figure out that when we meet with them. They did not really elaborate on that, but they said it's not part of the
Yeah,
program.
how about John, whenever they do come, if I can sit in, because I'm a little familiar with it, because if it'll save us money, we're gonna need to save money.
I know.
And it can be
Welcome.
better for our employee.
You are welcome to come to any meeting you want.
Okay, well, you let me know when it is,
I don't know about
so
that.
I can go.
It starts in 5 minutes.
Gene, we'll make sure he
I
lets
just
you
have to
know
find it.
Yeah.
at the beginning.
I'll let you know, Jim. Like I said, they can, so we're trying to reschedule. And when they do, I'll give you a week ahead advance.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Okay, at this time, we are going to adjourn this meeting at 1:43.
Thank you so much, Catherine.
You're welcome. Only because Heidi
Right,
needs me to be quiet.